as I've watched Zion Williamson over the last few years, his last year in high school, his tenure at Duke, and now the first year and a half we've gotten of him at the professional level, I only had one question, but it was a big one question. Would Zion Williamson have the passion at the NBA level night in, night out? This is a young man who, I don't think Zion comes from poverty. I'm not saying that he comes from a rich background by any means, but I don't think Zion comes from poverty either. And what I've seen often over the last decade is we're no longer in the era of NBA players coming from nothing, at least in this country, more times than not. Now, there are a couple cases of from nothing to something come up stories, yeah. But me being from humble beginnings, I look for those stories of guys making it to the league that come from nothing. But what we're learning is as a lot of black families become better in this country and gain more wealth in this country and just get their finances together and become middle class, we're learning that the guys that are making it, these people's kids, you know, coming from these families that have been able to have success in the 90s, 2000s, and the 2010s, the kids that come from them, we're learning that with a stable home, you know, with a pretty good background, some stability, and let's not rule out the importance of having two parents in the household. What we're learning is a lot of kids that make it to the professional level nowadays come from middle-class households. A lot of the NBA players today, they come from middle-class households, which nothing is wrong with by any means necessary, but it is what it is. Most of the guys that come from nothing are guys that we see from foreign-based countries. The Giannis's of the world, the Joel Embiids of the world, the Lukas of the world even. These are the guys that, to me, that's why they're some of the stars of our league, because they don't take this moment for granted, because they come from humble beginnings. The Pascal Siakams of the world, all from out of the country. And when I looked at Zion, a guy that's American-based, went to Duke, he's been touted as one of the top prospects for years now. He's a YouTube sensation, an Instagram sensation, a house of highlights, darling, a ball is life, beloved one. I'm thinking to myself, man, all those numbers, I wonder will Zion Williamson have it night in, night out in the NBA? That was my big question, and that's a big question. Over the last couple months, I've finally realized that he's got it. And I don't think he'll ever lose it. If you can get a guy that young that plays for a team that bad in New Orleans, I'm sure Zion, I probably wanted to play in a bigger market. He doesn't have any New Orleans ties to the best of my knowledge. The team is bad. Oftentimes, he doesn't get the last shot. They lose a lot of late, close games. Stan Van Gundy's a pretty loosely based head coach. But Zion's still committed and balling out of his mind right now. If you can get a guy to perform like that right now, you got a great one on your hands. You got an all-time level talent. Now, will his body allot for him to remain an all-time level talent? I don't know. Do I still believe he needs to come off 20, 30 pounds? Yeah. Hell, I need to come off 20, 30 pounds if you want me to be real with you. But Zion definitely playing NBA ball. I still think he needs to lose a little weight. But this year, knock on wood, he's been pretty healthy. He's been pretty darn healthy at the weight that he's at right now, which we believe to be near 300 pounds. If Zion is committed as we've seen him this year, and there have been no problems, especially with the passion and the want on the court, that's all I ever needed from him. And if that is there, we're talking about a guy that's going to probably win a most valuable player award in his tenure. If Giannis could do it, Zion can. We're talking about a guy who's going to be a perennial all-star for years to come, a number one on a team. You won't need someone better on your team than Zion to win a championship. You'll just need a guard that's right under Zion to get it done. His game is going to expand. His range is definitely going to expand. He's just scratching the surface with the player that he can be. He's athletic enough to guard on the other end of the court. I'll tell you this, the day that Zion becomes a 10 rebound a game type of guy, he's an MVP candidate in this league. Catch full new episodes of FERRO's music-based platform every day only on YouTube at It's Mr. Taliaferro. You can also find clips, updates, giveaways, and more on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, also at It's Mr. Taliaferro. For all basketball fans, make sure you tune in to FERRO's daily highlights, reports, and commentary on YouTube at Hoops FERRO, and even more updates on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Hoops FERRO as well.